All right, good morning. It's February, what is today? Well, it's a cold day in February. How's that sound? So we're 8 below, 28 below wind chill. We did sort of put our backup heat in play. We have some new plants Molly and Kendall have started. And so I guess this morning it's 44 degrees in the suction room. Put a little bottle of propane on our ventless heater. He set it to 50. I just turned it up. But so what I did is I just sort of propped a little 2x4 in the fins of the exhaust fan, the cooling fan, just to let a little bit of heat into the grill room. I don't know if it did much. Comes up right above the geothermal air to air. And I've been in here and it's a consistent 40 degrees everywhere. I put the electric heaters on also. Like I said, we got our peach blossoms, our lemon and lime blossoms, our pear blossom, our pear trees having some good blossoms. Pomegranates look really good. I'm gonna share some fairly couple fun things with you. These trees, you know, we sort of when we planted them, put a little depression so it held water. And started noticing some of them, it's like they're built up. Instead of being a depression, the soil's actually mounded up in them. So I was a little bit going, I wonder what's going on there. Well, then Kendall showed me these little mounds. They're worm mounds. Look at all these worms in there, right? So in amongst the trees, all of this is worm castings. So through the winter, evidently the basement part of our greenhouse has just been ideal for worms. So around most of the trees, we have our nice little worm farms working. This, I think, a really good example. So they're giving us lots of natural fertilizer. So we just thought that was a hoot. To sort of balance our pH, we added the pine chips. We were pretty high in nitrogen, so we were hoping the carbon from the saw chips would sort of help bring that down. We're gonna do a soil sample of each grow bed and the basement, get it sent off, and see what it was compared to last year. Hopefully the pH is coming down. Hopefully the nitrogen, phosphorus levels are coming down. And but the worm thing I think is just pretty neat. our organic matter, because we did bring some old manure in and mix with the A layer of soil when we excavated the basement out of the greenhouse. You know, we were 8.5 to 12.5% organic matter. And then with the saw chips and some of the other stuff we're putting in, it's just, you know, a really good environment for the worms, keeping it above freezing, and going through the grow beds. Kendall's been we planted a bunch of radishes in the last couple days. Kendall has, so we're hoping we're gonna have a fair amount of radishes for sale here in about a month. But she says she's found a fair amount of worms in the beds just scratching in these radish seeds. Our cabbages, of course, we're learning, right? So cabbage is a biennial, fruits the first year, seeds the second year. So that's what our little cabbage pods were coming out of our mini cabbages, which is fine. We're maybe gonna try and harvest some seeds if they'll pollinate and use some of their seeds. We're gonna try and use a bunch of our own seeds from here, from the greenhouse. Some of our cover crop is flowering and seeding. So yeah, maybe just a little update. Probably gonna go through some pretty severe safety precautions. I don't know about severe, but to not let it freeze now that we have stuff in their flowering stage. And so might not have needed the supplemental electric heat to stay above 32, but we're gonna put a little bit of investment in it just to protect things. And be interesting to see the cabbages or the radishes take off. We have our tomatoes, we're gonna get seeded. You know, we're learning again. We should have had these started probably clear back in November in the house with grow lights so we could get them going now. But we're gonna get them in the ground. They're gonna be planted out here this year. I'm gonna crawl up the trellis, try to keep them away from the Lexan. Two things: hopefully we'll get the basement effect to keep them warmer next winter. Yeah, so hopefully we get more going. This is a Myers lemon tree that's in nice blossom. All right, with that, I'm gonna let you go.